Hi guys, this is Arnav from the Taos marketing team. This is our fourth landing page teardown. It's a series in which we take a landing page from a different industry each week and we critique it in ways that could help it increase its conversion rate. So this week we take a look at the small business lending industry. So this is basically when a small business needs to take out a loan to help grow the business, help start the business. They go to a small business lender and they take out a loan. So I looked up equipment financing over here, which is a keyword for this industry. And I got a bunch of ads. The cost per click is $36.48, which is about the same as what I've seen for other terms in this space. It's usually a little above $40 or a little below $40. And I clicked on the fourth link that appeared over here. And this is the landing page that I got on the other end. Now this landing page is for a company called American Capital Group, and it's got a lot of issues with it. We discussed it for quite some time on our Slack group. And we sort of distilled down our findings into two broad issues that you should be aware about. The first has to do with legitimacy. So this landing page feels very generic, and because it feels generic, it feels impersonal and it feels spammy. And that sort of undercuts the legitimacy of the page, and it doesn't make it seem as trustworthy as one of its competitors who might have a better landing page. And the reason we think it doesn't look particularly legitimate is for three reasons. First, has to do with the stock images. We spoke about this when we were talking about the LASIK eye surgery landing pages a couple of weeks back, but this takes it to a whole other level. There's a lot of people wearing business clothing, just looking at you and smiling on this page, and these images could be used for any industry. They could, for example, just think about other finance products. This could be a mortgage website. These images could be used in a mortgage website. They could be used in a car insurance website. They could be used in a car loan website. They don't really speak equipment financing to me, and that just makes the page feel a little bit generic. They could easily fix this by using something like Unsplash, which has high quality stock images. But it's one of those minor issues which just affects the overall user experience of the page and can easily be avoided. The second issue with legitimacy has to do with the copy in the first fold. They don't actually mention equipment financing anywhere over here, which is a little bit incoherent with the initial user intent. I looked up equipment financing to land on this page, but when I land in the actual page, there's no equipment financing in the first fold. And again, that speaks generic to me. It makes the page, again, feel impersonal, and in conjunction with the stock images, it again adds to the general feeling of untrustworthiness and spamminess, which could easily be fixed by me hitting back and clicking on another link in the search results, which would be a lost lead for American Capital Group. An easy way to solve this is to actually use the wording from the ad copy in the first fold, in the heading, in the subheading. It's a good way to maintain coherence. It's a good way to maintain continuity for the prospects, and it improves the user experience of the page again, because it makes it feel more coherent. The third issue with legitimacy on this page is actually one which I didn't think I would actually have to discuss, especially for a bank. They have a grammatical error over here. It might seem minor, especially because it's pretty low down in the page. It's in the third or fourth fold. But over here, they say, see the various financing program we can customize to fit your needs. I think they meant programs. And again, this seems minor, but having worked in content marketing, having worked in marketing for the last couple of years, I found that even the slightest typo in an otherwise perfect landing page or in an otherwise perfect blog post will cause your prospects to question your authority on selling anything or making any conclusions if it's a blog post. When I'm reading a blog post, if there's a typo, I question the legitimacy of everything that I've read up to that point and everything I've read after that point. So it's definitely something you want to avoid. It reduces the trustworthiness of the website, it reduces the legitimacy, and it reduces the likelihood that the prospect is going to convert. Now, the second broad issue which we've seen with this landing page has to do with the form. The form over here is not great. The first issue, which is pretty evident just by giving it a quick glance, is that it has too many fields. It's got 7 fields over here, which most people are not going to fill. This is solvable. They don't need all of these fields, and the reason I know they don't need all of these fields is because if I go here and I click on one of their competitors' landing pages, you'll see that they actually only have 3 fields in their form in their first fold. So it is possible. It is possible for American Capital Group to ask for the additional details which they're asking in these 7 fields later on in the sales process. And doing so will just reduce the opportunity of prospects dropping. So for example, if a prospect fills out 3 fields over here and then gets distracted by something, that's a lost lead. That's $40 down the drain. Whereas if they land on this and they fields, they just have to hit start now, and they're already moved on to the next process. There's no question of them getting distracted. There's no question of them getting sidetracked. It just reduces the opportunity for that, and it thereby increases the conversion rate of the landing page. The second issue with the form actually has to do with this field over here. They use this term TIB years. I personally did not know what this meant when I was initially doing research on this website, and my first instinct was to do a Google search. And that yielded no useful results. I found that when I looked up TIB years, all that showed up were links to a bank's website, which is called TIB Bank. So if I were a new business owner who didn't know what TIB years meant, this would be a huge hurdle for me. Even if I wanted to get a loan from American Capital Group, I wouldn't be able to finish the lead generation process because I just don't know how to answer this question, because I don't know what it is, which is perhaps the most egregious fault in this page. I mean, at this point, this company is essentially just giving away leads. They're just throwing their money down the drain. They're paying $40 per click, and they could easily avoid an issue like this, which is definitely causing some leads to drop. By one, they could just removing the field, because again, they have too many fields over here. Or two, just adding a tooltip, having one of those little eye icons, which you hover over to reveal some information about what's there in the field. So that's pretty much it for this landing page. There's a lot more we could talk about, but those are the 2 big overarching issues. Just keep making the page seem as personal as possible, not seeming very generic, goes a long way in making the page feel more trustworthy. And just optimizing the form, reducing the number of fields, ensuring that people know exactly how they can fill out each field, will go a long way in making it easier for prospects to fill out the form. And the culmination of both of those, addressing both of those issues, is the conversion rate goes up. This is pretty obvious stuff. It really doesn't take much practice in marketing to know any of this. But yeah, a lot of companies do miss it, and that's why we're here. We will tear down their landing pages when they do. So that's it for today. If you have any feedback, let us know in the comments. And if you have a landing page you want us to tear down, drop a link in the comments, and we'll take a look at it in the next couple of weeks. Thank you.